Okay, so this is lesson 34, and it's division with zeros in the quotient. So remember, quotient is the answer. So our answer to our division problem is going to have some zeros in it. It's no big deal, but it can kind of get you tangled up a little bit if you're not careful. We're going to use the same steps we use for all division problems. Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. And you can remember it, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? The book doesn't do the check step, but I think that's really important, so I always suggest that you guys do that. Example 1 says 365 divided by 6. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but when I do a division problem, if I'm being good about it, I make sure I line up my columns. You can turn your paper and you've already got the columns lined up for you. One problem that I see a lot of kids, one area that they mess up is they might put their answer kind of halfway in the middle between the 3 and the 6 and they get tangled up. Make those column lines for a while till you get used to it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to divide. Well, can I divide 3 by 6? No, 6 won't go into 3 evenly, will it? So I'm going to go ahead and put a little X there. So now I can move over to my next place value, and I can say, will 6 go into 36? I'm going to ignore that for just a minute. Oh yes, it will go 6 times. So I've divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 6 times 6 is 36. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to check. Is 0 less than 6? Yes, so that means that's correct. And now I can bring down. Okay. Am I finished yet? Have I covered up that space right there? No, I have not. So I'm going to say, oh, will 6 go into 5? No, because I've already started my problem, I'm not going to put an X there. I'm going to put a 0 there because I know 6 will not go into 5. 0 times 6 is 0. So that was multiply. Now I'm going to subtract. Okay, check. Is 5 less than 6? Yes, so that means that's correct. Do I have any more to bring down? No, so that's my remainder. Remainder 5. Oh, okay, cool. It's really important that once you start your division, that you fill up all the columns till you get to the end. I don't know how to say that any better, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. In order to check, we're going to use an inverse operation. So we've divided, so our opposite of that, our inverse of that, is multiplication. So let's check and multiply 60 times 6. Remember, I'm going to leave the remainder for right now. 6 times 0, 6 times 6 is 36. And then I can add my remainder on. Okay, so remember that's my dividend. So when I multiply my divisor by my quotient, I get my dividend, right? The dividend is in the box. The divisor is knocking at the door. So dividend, divisor, quotient. Okay, silly, I know. All right, example 2. It's a train. I love train problems. A train traveled 630 kilometers in 6 hours. Find the average speed, or how far it traveled in 1 hour. Ooh, this is sounding like science problems, kind of. Okay, so in order to find out how far it traveled in 1 hour, I just divide 630 divided by 6. Okay, so I've written out my problem. I'm going to do the same thing. Draw my little columns. Let's draw them a little bit more clearly. I'm investigating this 6. Will this 6 go into this 6? Yes, 1 time. So I'm going to put my 1 directly above what I'm dividing. Okay, 1 times 6, I'm multiplying, is 6. Subtract 0. Okay, check. Is 0 less than 6? Yes, so that's correct. Now I can bring down. Will 6 go into 3? No, it won't. So I put a 0 telling me it won't go in there. Right above where I'm working that 3. 0 times 6 is 0. Subtract, check, yes. Bring down, will 6 go into 30? Yes, 5 times. Cool, okay. And in order to check, I would just multiply those two. See if I'd get 630, okay? Example 3 says an object on the moon has a different weight than it would on Earth. Mass is the same, but the weight's different. Huh, that's for science. To find its weight on the moon, divide by 6. Okay, so we have a fella, Jason, who's an astronaut. He weighs 115 pounds on Earth, and how much would he weigh on the moon? But the trick with this one is they tell me to estimate. So I'm going to use compatible numbers. So here's my real problem. But I don't want to do that because it would involve calculations. Remember, estimate, I want to be able to do it in my head. So I'm going to change this number here to something that is a multiple of 6. Something that 6 would go into easily that I could do in my head. 110, will 6 go into 11? No. Will 6 go into 12? Yes. So could I change that to 120? Sure. So 6 goes into 120. Oh, well, I can just do that, right? 20 times. Do I have to write all that? No. So I'm going to say that my answer is he would weigh about 20 pounds on the moon. Remember, estimating is you're coming close but not quite getting the exact answer. Okay? I think you're good. Remember, make your column markers and make sure you have either an X or a number in each of those columns above your dividend numbers. Okay? Good luck with this.